Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen aus Barcelona. Wir sind heute für den CT Talk nach Barcelona gereist. Im Rahmen des GXN Network Meetings, was hier stattfindet, habe ich heute Daniel Rufenacht von bluesign zu Besuch.
Okay.
We already had the chance on the PSI early this year, so we're now switching to English.
Sorry.
Your German is so good. We just talked about it. Your German is so good, so we could do it in German. But
Next
I
time,
think
promise, next time. If there's a third time, mach
then
es
we
auf
do it.
Deutsch.
Okay, nächstes Mal auf Deutsch.
Auf
Okay,
Deutsch, ja.
okay.
Gut, ja.
So yeah, thanks a lot. It's quite early.
Yeah.
Maybe you can realize it, or everyone can realize it because of the sunset scenery or the sunrise scenery.
Yeah.
So we are 8 o'clock in the morning. So we are the early birds.
And the cool thing is Spain is not waking up at 8 o'clock normally, right?
Yeah, but it's
But there's a lot of
already
noise.
quite noisy behind us.
Yeah.
So we have a nice setup. So we're
Yeah.
on the rooftop of the Mandarin, which is a super nice place.
Fabulous
I
place.
promised you, it's a nice place to be in the morning.
Yes, you spoiled me here.
Yeah,
It's
so
nice, yeah. At the
usually we
poolside.
had to plan to get into the pool, but you forgot your shorts. So we thought, okay, let's do it. Let's do it on that way. We want to talk a bit about bluesign.
Yeah,
What is
sure.
bluesign about? We talked a bit on the PSI, but that
Yeah.
was more about, okay, what is bluesign about? Today we want to talk about, okay, what is the partnership we are heading in?
Yeah.
So what is the idea in merchandise, promotional item industry? Why do you want to get into that industry? And how we want to do that together. And that's a bit of our kickoff.
Yeah.
Was the partnership. And let's talk about, maybe you want to reintroduce yourself. I think you did it also in Jan, but let's do it again. And then let's get a bit of deep dive in bluesign and again, about what is it and our partnership.
Okay, cool. So first of all, thank you very much for this nice invitation. I really love the place, and sorry for my shorts. But you know, my shape is not good at the moment.
Yeah,
so
next time we will cut your trousers. So no excuse.
I thought of it to take an old jeans and then
Cut
I
it
can
off.
roll it up. But
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Yes. So as I said at PSI, I'm not gonna elaborate too much on that on my career, but I've been in sustainability for the last 35 years. Starting by throwing stones into multinational windows companies.
Yeah, I remember.
Exactly. And then ending up in a factory because my dad said, now you pay for it, stuff like that. But I always was in sustainability and I loved it. And instead of embracing a career in being an activist, or I just said, okay, let's go inside the companies and change the society from inside the companies, because I believe that companies like yours, what we do today, like the big shots, like the multinationals, can change part of our problem that we have with the environment and with nature in general. So if the change comes from inside, it will be more efficient and more integrated. It's all about integration of that. So then I worked a little bit in the textile industry for 10 years, where I really loved it. We built schools. There was a time where we were working with human rights more than with impact on the planet, right? So human rights, child labor, bonded labor, all these issues. And after that, I moved to the biggest inspection company in the world, SGS, where we turned the company into the most sustainable company in our sector with big awards, etc. So that's my career from inside companies. And then I wanted to kind of stop, a few years ago, and the CEO of SGS said, oh, we have this nice little company in St. Gallen. And St. Gallen, it's 4.5 hours from Geneva. So it's probably easier going from Geneva to Mannheim by plane than going by train
Sounds
to
a bit
St.
like
Gallen.
that, yeah.
It's 4.5 hours, by the way. So, and I said, cool, because I like the idea. And the idea is very simple. bluesign is about not using the bad chemicals, right? And it's a way of doing it. Because today the trend is to say we produce, and then at the end we look what's in it and we do testing. And then all of a sudden we realize that you have bad chemicals in your garments. Of course, if you put them in from the beginning.
Then it's already too late.
It's already too late. So the idea came around 2000 by a company, Schurlers, with Mr. Albers, who was a visionary and said, okay, let's remove the chemicals from the beginning. Let's do what we call input stream management. What you put in, you get out. you know the concept of shit in, shit out. Yeah. Okay. So do good things.
It's good that you said it. Usually it's my one, but
okay, sorry.
I'm good. No, I'm more
you
than happy that
cut,
you
go
said
back
it.
and you do it again.
Yeah. No shit in, no shit out. So that's basically
the concept.
what bluesign
and
is
then
about.
We can go into a bit more deeper in the way it works. So we have been applying this in the outdoor industry, and you know the outdoor industry is really at the forefront of sustainability in the textile. So in the outdoor today, we don't talk anymore from reducing the impact. We talk about doing positive. And this is the word that I would like to take from the outdoor industry into the promotion wear industry. Yeah? With the promotion wear, we're gonna jump a few steps, because first you think, how can I reduce? And then from reduction, how can I do positive? And what I hope to do with Cyberwear, with the companies in the promotion wear, that we don't go to this step by putting targets to reduce, but we say, look, we don't use the bad chemicals from the beginning, that's far, and we do the positive. Right? That's the whole idea about it. Okay. And why Cyberwear? I mean, we were looking with a consultant, Björn, that maybe you know, of course.
Of course.
that maybe the people who are listening to us know as well. And he's a huge networker. And he said, look, there are some influencers in the market. And we should work together with these influencers, try to convince them that it's a good thing, and then work with them to build up in the industry. And your name came up.
Okay.
And a few other names. And then you remember we met, and I had a good feeling about the company. You made this nice visit. It was just impressive how you are organized, your client base. I was impressed and say, okay, that's the company we need to go for. So we did everything to convince you and to have you on board. And I guess we are there now where we need to start the work, right? Starting the work is a hard but easy at the same time. Why? It's hard because you need to know your supply chain. And every company I met in the textile industry for the last 30 years, you never know your supply chain completely. And now with a digital passport coming from the European Union, you will have two elements that are important. Traceability, so where is my stuff coming from? Who are my suppliers? What is the whole custody chain? And then performance. Okay, what is the CO2 emissions? What are the waste? What is the water? What is the chemicals? And with bluesign, what is the good chemicals you use in the process? Not the bad ones, right? And the digital passport, we are preparing for it. And why I say it's difficult at some point, but it's easy. The difficult part will be the digital passport, the implementation. And if we start working now together and we do all these steps, knowing your supply chain, going to the supply chain, working with them to go to bluesign level, taking bluesign system partners already in to build up your products and to offer these products to your customers, that's a big job to do, I understand, but it is coming with a digital passport. We have to go through.
And I think that's an essential one. So as you mentioned, in the past it was all about inner, let's say, part of the DNA. Shall we do it?
Yeah.
Do we have the resources to go with it? So it was more like, okay, yes, no, okay, let's go with. So it was a decision for everyone, every single one, for every company. But at the end, everyone could also decide, okay, no, we don't want to invest in it. But I think with the digital passport, also with the supply chain check and all that stuff coming up from Europe, it's getting essential. So you have to. So it's not a nice to have anymore. It's a must have. And I think that's also something, because we've talked about yesterday about the challenge to introduce bluesign to our supply chain, but also to our customers. So what is it about? And if you explain it, all sounds good. So because it is good, but it is for sure, it is a journey. But at the end, I think we all have to go with the journey, because we have to go for the digital passport and all that stuff. So I think it would be even easier to go, okay, let's go for a bluesign. So there is a standard. So there are some regulations we can just, let's say, fulfill. and then we are good to go for the digital passport as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit of an essential to convince, because that's why we are here today. And what we have to do in the next few weeks and months, we have to convince at least our supply chain on one side, but also, and we had a discussion also yesterday night, also our customers. So what is the bluesign label about? So what kind of, is there any benefit behind? And that's, I think, when you mention the digital passport and all that stuff, it is not about, is there a marketing aspect behind? Is there any whatever revenue growth behind or whatever? It is because you prove, within just a simple tag, you prove that you did your job. And I think that's a good extract of the idea, and how we have to finally have to convince at the customer side. Because the discussion on the customer side, it's maybe not in the fashion, because fashion is, compared to our industry, is decades in front of us, because it's all about sustainability and all that stuff. We are in a good way. But if you look back 5-6 years ago on the PSI show, there was nothing about sustainability. And then from one to the other year, it was really changing dramatically in a positive way, that everyone was on sustainability. But in the first few years, it was all about, but what is this? What is it? Is it material? Is it the social aspect out of it? So everyone was struggling, and then they all came up in the first one, because we are very haptical guys in our industry. It was all about the material. Let's go with sustained material, then we are sustained. And then maybe they totally forgot the other part of the sustainability. And so it is, we are on a good way, we are on a good journey already in the industry. But I think with bluesign, we will have something where we can say, okay, this is something which is approved, where we can prove ourselves, we can show it. And that's exactly why when you showed up and Björn was talking to me, let's talk about bluesign, I was exactly the same. Okay, what is it? What is bluesign about? And then we have been on the ISPO, and if you go to the ISPO, it's all over. It's all over. Everyone knows bluesign. And that was for me, okay, if it's just a proved label in the fashion industry, it can't be that bad for our industry. And then we had the first talks, we had the first meetings, and then we got a bit deep dive into bluesign. And then I was like, okay, that's something. First of all, I always like to do something new. So I really love it to do something where maybe not everyone is aware about, and to do something together and to grow something together. And so I really liked the idea from the very first day on. But since we had our first meeting, it's 1.5 years ago, maybe, and we also found out it is not that easy. So it is really, we've never been to the first part where we say, okay, this is where we have to start, and now we can just continue. So and that's also the reason why we're here today, to re-kick off the partnership and to talk about and to start our marketing, and then also and that was what we were also talking about yesterday, to get our first project done, because I think it is essential to have something in hand, because again, we are physical guys. It's all about products, it's all about materials, it's all about quality and all that stuff. So you have to prove with a project, and that's exactly what I want to do. Start a good project together, show the people, showcase, okay, that's it. This is the way how you have to do and what you have to go with, and this is, again, it's a bit of a kickoff again today, doing that.
I think there's one element that is important, why it's so difficult, because testing, taking a garment, looking what's inside, giving you the result, and say, hey, Steven, it's not good. I give you back the textile, the report, done. That's what the TIC industry is doing, the testing, inspection, certification industry is doing. And they leave it with you. And what do you do after that? You have to do your job yourself, right?
Running around trying to get rid of my problem.
Exactly, because you lack of traceability, you think, okay, there's a guy who tried to fool me or whatever, right? It's all these kind of questions, and as an entrepreneur, you are kind of alone. You have to solve it, right? You go to your quality team, etc. The idea of bluesign is really a partnership to improve. So if there is an issue on your value chain, we would actually know where it is, because we have visited your supply chain, we have done the audits, we have person from the technical services following this supplier, etc. So there's a traceability there, and there's an improvement scheme, a roadmap that we do with you together, and that's essential. And again, it's a test is easy. Doing the whole partnership that you choose, and that's very important. You have chosen not the easiest way to do it, right? But on the long run, it's going to be very easy for you. On the long run, you're going to be the first one having a digital passport, and we can go. And when you can go to your customers and say, "Look, digital passport is not a question; it's here," right? They will be
it's a
very,
USP.
very, very happy, right?
Yeah.
To have it. Now, coming back to what you said, which is essential, how to convince the final customers, or let's say the corporates that buy from
industry
you.
or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gore-Tex is a concept that you know by heart. If you ask people around what is Gore-Tex, they will tell you it's a good thing. Nobody would be able to tell you the details of a Gore-Tex, right? And
I think most of them, they not even know who's behind.
Exactly.
It's Gore-Tex.
Exactly.
But the company behind, no one really knows.
Yes.
Which is funny enough. So because I had the same when we worked first time with Gore-Tex, I was not like, okay, who's really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. And it's what we call in marketing the ingredient branding. So that means the brands will wear a tag from Gore-Tex to show that the garment is good, or that has a certain quality. And what I aim to reach, and at the moment I'm not there, is to have the same approach with Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex is a bit older than bluesign, but bluesign is 20 years old. So as I said before, in the industry of outdoor, we are well known. We go to, for instance, Mammut, not to mention them. You have the logo. It's all set, right? Okay. And the consumer is aware. Now we get into a new field, of course, for us. So it's also new. We need to establish our reputation there. But the Gore-Tex, it took them more than 20 years also to get at that level they are today in their industry. And you just understand it's a good thing. And what I want with bluesign is that in the future we say, oh, it's blue-signed, right? Yeah. Oh, it's a blue-signed product.
Yeah, exactly what we have talking about in Mannheim. It has to be
exactly
the same like Gore-Tex. Yeah. It's, okay, I want to have blue-sign.
Yeah.
No question at all.
And that's why it's important to work with this industry. We also have a very good start into the denim industry. I don't know, your industry is also linked to denim. You also do denim products. We just launched the cleanest denim in the world together with ISCO and with Madewell. And we have a lot of companies joining now in the denim industry. And we do this, the footwear.
Yeah.
No?
Just wanted
Our
to
nice
mention
shoes.
Yeah. You also started
the white shoes.
Yeah.
For the moment, the white shoes, not the leather shoes. And this has a fabulous start. We have, for instance, Lululemon, who's doing a pilot with us. We have all the big brands knocking at the door now. We have Columbia who wants to join. And it shows how topical it is. It's really topical. And that's very important. And very often the brands today, that the situation is not good. Worldwide, there's recession, there's overstock, there is... It's me. Sorry, it's me.
Family's calling.
It's okay. My apologies.
That's first time in 40 talks that happens.
We can start again.
Okay, yeah, let's start again. Cut. I told you we will not cut it.
Apologies.
So
apologies.
I just will not cut it.
Far away, and we still can. The show must go
Next
on.
Time,
That's
throw it into the pool.
No.
Come on, it's an iPhone 14, 15. It can go to the pool.
But the sound is the show must go on. So.
Yeah.
So it's very topical in with the industry. It's very topical with the brands, but the situation in the world is not good.
Yep.
And we have these inventory issues. I know now there are factories in Asia that are running 30% of their capacity. So usually I say it's the right moment. It is the right moment because we need to act, because we have these targets for 2030 from the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, that we are going to miss badly. And then we have the 2050 coming up. So regulation will become tighter. And the regulator will kick in as of 2030. That's my magic number, and I said it also at the PSI.
Yeah.
2030 is a magic number because regulator will come in. And if you're not ready,
And it's coming
and if you're not
closer.
prepared,
It's coming
it's
closer.
going to be down.
It's only
And the
6.5
brands will
years
ask
to
for
go.
it. Yeah, the brand will cascade it to you. Your customers will cascade it to you. They will say, "It's your problem. It's not my problem. Go for it," and you'll be prepared.
Okay.
And that's a good
So
thing.
what do you think, just from the outside view, when we're going, let's say, because at our industry it's all about the industry, so let's say call it the end consumer. It's not the end consumer because they will then hand it over or sell it to the end consumer. So what is the, let's say, the 5 main reason, or 3 or 2, whatever, to really go for a big company, for a big brand, to say, okay, let's change our merchandise, our promotional item, promotional wear, maybe also corporate fashion, into bluesign? So what are the main reasons for you? So if we go to a customer and they come up, okay, give me 5 reasons, and then I'm go.
Yeah, okay. So talking about the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, as I mentioned already, one of the benefits is that you start knowing your value chain. You start knowing where you have the problems, the issue management, risk management. So you start knowing that, because it's important when you're at the helm of the company that you know what you do, first of all. Then you have the pressure from society, and pressure from the investors, and pressure from the end consumers, NGOs. So you need to protect yourself against your bad image. So bluesign is a way to say, look, we manage it. Then we have resource management. Nobody wants to talk about resource management, but resource management in your value chain is important. Usually, when you are buying, you don't care what efficiency your supplier gets. What you care is the price.
Yeah.
They have the better price. And to get this better price, the companies need to work on resources. So resource management. So you use less resources and you have less waste. That's a very important point. And then consumer protection, because at the end of the day, you
just
won't
have to make that because the sun is coming up, and
now we have the sunrise.
It's really hard in my eyes. Sorry, but
I don't have my sunglasses. So do you have a sunglass?
I forgot my one yesterday in the restaurant. I forgot my one in the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh,
I was like, idiot.
Okay. Maybe we can change the city.
No, it's all good. I just have to make like that. It looks a bit maybe weird, but I have to do like that.
And it's also the consumer protection, because why would you let a product with PFC or with problem cancerogenous chemicals in your garments? Why would you do that? You would not do that, and not to do that is to remove them. So those are the 4, let's say, main reasons.
Okay.
And then also to differentiate yourself from the others, because you do a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We are already over
That's
with
the
our
sun.
timing.
You don't want to talk to me anymore.
No. We
because
are.
of
I
the
think
sun.
we are more or less 20 minutes. So I thought 15 maybe, but
Okay,
now
good.
no. But it's super interesting, and we could do, I think, another 2 hours talking
Sure,
about it,
yeah.
and we will do.
Oh,
but
I have
without
number
the
3
camera.
now. I have to do German now. Huh? Number 3.
Yeah, number
interview.
3. Yeah, the next one will be in German. No, so we will now head to the GXN meeting.
Yes.
I think we will have a
Yeah.
lot of
heavy
super
day in front
interesting
of us.
people there,
Yeah.
60 people from all over the world,
Yeah.
talking about not only sustainability, but also
But the
talking
industry.
about the whole industry. I think that will be also for you, first time.
Yeah.
Will be super interesting to listen to all these people and all the challenges we are faced with. And thanks a lot. Thanks
Thank
for
you, Stephen, for the invite. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks a lot
And
for
such a nice
being
place.
the early bird. And so yeah, we had a bit of a nice coffee,
All
nice
good.
setup.
Yeah.
And we will now jump into the pool, and then we will head to the
No,
meeting. No, thanks a lot, Daniel.
Thank you very
super
much,
interesting. And again, it's our restart of the journey, and I'm really looking forward what we will do together, because I think it's a big thing we have to do.
Yeah.
And I think bluesign is really the right one to go with. And I just wanted to mention the last one is, it is not that complex as it might be already in the market, because there are a few people already in the market promoting bluesign, let's say, and selling bluesign, and it's not that complex what they explain, but this is what we want to prove. We don't want to talk about it, and we don't want to argue about it. We want to showcase that it is, for sure, it has to be more complex than a standard item, because there is a certain structure behind, and so it can't be same easy like just doing something. But it is not as much as complex as it might be seen at the moment.
If 120 outdoor brands can do it, you can do it.
I think so. That's the good one for the last. Thanks a lot, Daniel.
Thank you.
And we will enjoy Barcelona the next 2 days.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Cool.
you, Steven. Thanks.
Danke dir.
Cool. Thanks.
Danke.
Great.
Good.
Well,